And a good morning to you. Welcome inside the Bottom Line. Lanny Ford along with you here this morning. Greeny will join us about 8:20 this morning. Probably have just a little shorter show as I have got to get out on the road and get to my real job. Good morning, Richie, Gay, Amber. Good morning. Glad to have all you guys with us here this morning. Was it a nice morning today or what? When I came in this morning, it was 58 degrees. 58 degrees. I could get used to that, but I got a feeling that's not going to last. There's some heat coming back next week, maybe a little chance of rain tomorrow, but I'll take it when I can get it. I'm ready for fall. Love fall and spring. Not big on summertime, and I'll put winter in there as well. If I got to rank my 4 seasons, it's going to be summer is last. Sorry. Jack Huss, good morning to you, sir. Glad to have you. Did you get a chance last night to watch any of the Hall of Fame game? I did. I wasn't much in the football way of things because nobody really played. But to see some of the pros that went in, I watched the pregame show to see Jimmy Johnson, Jerry Jones, kind of kiss and make up, and to go back and watch when Jimmy got the announcement. I was watching live last year when he got that announcement live on the air, and it was all he could do to stop from just absolutely falling apart just from emotion. But last night also, one of the discussions has always been, how could you have a Ring of Honor in Dallas and not have Jimmy Johnson be part of it? Well, Jerry Jones was on the show last night, and he talked about, Hank Stram, not Hank Schramm. Trying to think, is that the original owner of the Cowboys? He told Jerry when he bought them, Andrew, good morning, he said, make sure to tell the story of the Cowboys with the Ring of Honor. And he said, how could you tell the story of the Cowboys without mentioning Jimmy Johnson and what he accomplished? And, Jimmy, they say Jimmy's going into the Ring of Honor. Jerry made that announcement last night, and he is. And what I've kind of heard is they're planning to put Jimmy into the Ring of Honor, and they weren't going to do it till next year because they didn't want to take away from the importance and the spotlight from going into the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. So Jerry made that announcement last night, and that's where he said Jimmy's going to go into Ring of Honor. And Jimmy asked a great question. He said, do I get to go before I die? And Jerry said, well, if you live through today or this weekend, so Jimmy may go in this year. We'll wait and see. Kurt Benefee made the comment that if Jimmy was going to go in, whatever Sunday they picked for Jimmy to go in, Fox would make it a point to schedule and be there, so they could be there for that. Annette, good morning. Donnie, good morning. So Jimmy Johnson, when they announced last night the Hall of Fame members, of course they did 2020 and they did 2021 because there wasn't one last year. But when they did when they announced Jimmy, and I think he is the only coach that's ever won a national championship and won a Super Bowl. I believe I'm correct with that. But if you think about it, the Dallas Cowboys haven't been relevant since Jimmy Johnson left. They just haven't. And part of it's because Jerry won't stay out of the way. But according to Todd Archer, and this is the same thing I saw, and they kind of beat around it a little bit, Dallas Cowboy owner and general manager Jerry Jones did not say when it would happen, but he made an announcement last night that he hoped would come sooner rather than later that Jimmy Johnson will be inducted into the team's Ring of Honor. He's going into the Hall of Fame this weekend, and it was Tex Schramm, not Hank Schramm, Tex Schramm. This is what Jerry said. I think we've got some great days ahead of us. We're going to certainly be recognizing what's happening here with the Hall of Fame. But Tex Schramm, who started the Ring of Honor, said, Jerry, keep it kind of limited with people, but make sure it wasn't just about the plays they made. Make sure they contributed to the story of the franchise. Now, it's kind of hard not to recognize Johnson's contribution to the story of the franchise. And then that's when he said, they were teammates at Arkansas, Jimmy and Jerry, and he said, while I'm alive. And after a 1-15 record in 1989, his first year after taking over for Tom Landry, Johnson led the Cowboys back to prominence with wins in Super Bowls 27 and 28. And then they had a falling out. They also went on to say last night, and this was a little unusual, I think, when they talked about Jimmy coming to work, Jimmy said and Jerry said they never talked about money and contracts. Richie, good morning. They never talked about money and contracts. That's kind of unusual. But, I guess they had that kind of relationship. But when things went south, when Jimmy left, it didn't turn out that way. They did not part on great terms. And part of that, from everything that I've read, from the backstory of that, was Jerry did not like the notoriety Jimmy was getting. Jerry's got a little Al Davis in him and would like to be the one that's held in prominence, I guess you would say. And so that's kind of that's the way I understood the parting went away. And then when that happened, of course, Barry Switzer won a Super Bowl with them, I believe. And, of course, he did it with what Jimmy had built, not anything that he had done. And it really kind of went downhill from there. Jones said, my role here my job was to keep it together. It was my job. Should I have had deference to some things that was working good? Those are the things that come to my mind. We had a great run of it. He's a great coach, and I'm proud to have him as a friend and proud to have him had the time that we had. We just had a great experience. So even Jimmy or even Jerry is going back and saying, maybe I shouldn't have done some of the things. Maybe I should have let him run the show, but Jerry still is that way. He couldn't stay out of the way. He just couldn't stay out of the way. But they won it anyway. This was another thing that came out last night in the show. Tom Brady is one of the guests that's going to come and join Peyton Manning's section for the Hall of Fame induction. And Peyton's dad, Archie, will be the one that does the inducting. And if I'm not mistaken, Troy Aikman is going to be the one that does the induction for Jimmy Johnson, because they had become very good friends. Milton saying, good morning. Glad to have you with us too. But Tom Brady is in the middle of training camp, and I want to say, or maybe I didn't hear this correctly, but I want to say that Bruce Arians is maybe coming as well, which I thought was pretty good. Peyton's just one of those good guys. They did talk a little bit last night about the new show that Peyton and Eli are going to have, and I think it will gain. I just don't know. I'm not sure if they're going to show the game. I'm guessing they will, but it's going to be like you and a friend going to a bar to watch a game, and you talk about the game while it's going on. Now, my understanding is Peyton will be at his place and Eli will be at his place, but they'll talk about, the game and what's going on, just kind of like friends do. Andrew, good morning. But it's I think it will bring some things to the table, and I think it was the only way that Peyton wanted to get into the broadcasting side of it and commit to something, because it is his production company that is handling everything. So that means he's the one making the decisions on what they want to do and how they want to do it. So that's probably, Peyton wanted to dictate the terms of how he was going to do things. So, good for him. And Peyton's got a great sense of humor. I've never seen it in Eli, but I guess we'll see it as kind of as time goes by a little bit. Let's see. What else we got going on here? See what else we got going on in the NFL. Like I say, it wasn't a great game last night. It was just a game. The Steelers wound up winning 16-3, and you know who was quarterbacking for the Dallas Cowboys to start out? And I think he's the top backup behind Dak. Of course, Dak's not going to play any here inside the preseason, but Garrett Gilbert. And Garrett Gilbert was at one time like I want to say maybe third team on the Carolina Panthers. He did spend some time on the Carolina Panthers team for a few years. Joe Hughes, good morning. Richie said, I'm not sure how good a color commentator or TV analyst Manning would be. He would be – I would see Peyton more in the role of I've told you about the Monday Night Football crew when Dennis Miller was the third person in that booth with Kornheiser and I guess Al Michaels. I liked what Dennis Miller brought. I think Peyton could bring some good insight into the game. He won't bring it to the analytical level that Troy does or Romo does. Now I think Romo's is wearing a little thin, but we'll see how that kind of plays out. Jason Moose, good morning. Bill Klein, good morning. We'll know more, I guess, when this thing comes about. Peyton, one of the things that Milton says, Peyton acts dumb, but he's really a genius. I think the biggest thing is, Milton, he's just kind of an old country boy, and he's okay with that. And he doesn't try to change who he is or anything else. Richie said Aikman said that the back-up role is Gilbert's to lose, and I kind of think that's what it is. He wasn't bad, but, it's hard to make evaluations at this point in the season with these preseason games. You don't know how many starters you've got out there playing. You don't have the chemistry built up together because you don't have the same teams that's out there playing. So I'm not sure. I'm just not. I'm not sure how that's gonna kind of play out. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. Ben was not dressed last night, and nobody anticipates him to be dressed. But it was okay. It was an okay game. It was football. That's what we'll say. I do want to remind you that high school football is going on right now. I think the first day to hit is going to be Saturday, tomorrow. Scrimmages get underway next Wednesday. Maiden travels to Polk County, and scrimmages will go on Wednesday through Friday. I want to say that you're allowed 2. I could be wrong there, but I think you're allowed 2 scrimmages. And then the regular season gets underway 2 weeks. Mark it down. 2 weeks from tonight, we will have high school football back on Friday nights. I hope that things kind of settle down a little bit with the virus and they can kind of get things going. We'll just have to kind of wait and see and play it out. I think a lot of colleges and such, Chuck Lewis, good morning. A lot of colleges and stuff are going back. The football teams are going back. There is still some issues of how they're going to handle things. This is an article came out by the AP yesterday. It said the Florida Gators to spend part of football training camp in hotel to combat COVID-19. It says the Florida Gators will spend at least part of their training camp in a hotel as Dan Mullen searches for ways to avoid another outbreak within the program. They begin their 3 weeks of fall practice today, and Mullen understanding much more about the virus than he did a year ago. He said, we're going to try to have some protocols to be put in place. I think everybody's a little more educated about it now moving forward. But here's the thing. Even the vaccine part is not working. Not when I say it's not working, it maybe is lessening the effects, but it's not preventing the virus. And I don't, if you kind of had in your mind or you were thinking that it was going to, that was never the intended purpose. To me, I think that the intended purpose for the vaccine was to lessen the symptoms, maybe keep you out of the hospital. According to this article on ESPN, it says the number of people in U.S. hospitals has more than tripled over the past month, rising from an average of roughly 12,000 to around 43,000, according to the CDC. The variant has sent cases surging to 94,000 a day on average, a level not seen since mid-February. Now, I think that is cases surging, not hospitalizations. You remember when we started this whole process, when we went to the mask, when we went to the restrictions, it was to not overload hospitals. So I hope they follow that same model again. I don't think that you can stop the cases. I don't. My son tested positive for it. He said it feels like and he had the vaccine. He had the Pfizer. he said it feels like a bad sinus infection. But he's functioning, and he took one of the tests that you get from the drugstore. It's just it's not the brain tickler like I've had before, but just a nasal swab. He said it was 91% active, and that it was if it were going to throw a false, it would throw a false negative. So I think they're like 2 for $20. So he bought a pack of 2, took both of them. Both of them turned out to be positive. His wife was negative. So that's kind of where we're at with it. Richie said that West is scrimmaging against Patton next week. David Avery posted that last night. I think they go to Patton, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw that too, Richie. Chuck said, to me, the vaccine only to stop people from dying. Chuck, that's why I got it. Not thinking that it's going to prevent me from getting it, but hopefully it don't kill me. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. Cameron Beard, good morning. Glad to have you with us too. That's the whole process with me, honestly. That's how I've looked at it. That's the best way I think it should be. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. But we'll wait and see how this plays out. That's kind of all we can do. One more headline I did want to mention. RG3, Robert Griffin III, is joining ESPN as NFL college football analyst, but still wants to play. He doesn't have the body to play, in my opinion, but he has signed a multi-year deal with ESPN to be a college football and NFL analyst. He will be in the booth for college football games on ESPN and ABC, will contribute to ESPN studio coverage, including during the college football playoffs and Super Bowl. Of course, RG3 is a former Heisman Trophy winner, former Pro Bowl quarterback, and he's not shut the door on his NFL career, but I just don't think it's going to get opened up. If the opportunity comes along, he would like another shot at it. So I think every player that's been a player kind of feels that way. They want that one more shot. Not at 61 for me, but yeah, you always want that opportunity to get back out there one more time. Let me take a time out. Greeny will join us on the other side.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Stifel Nicholas now has an office in your community. Stifel Nicholas is a full-service organization offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. These include money market funds, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, retirement plans, and managed accounts, to name a few. Our financial advisors will sit down with you and help you tailor an investment plan, explaining strategies and investments which may help you achieve your personal goals. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. And welcome back to the bottom line. Lanny Ford along with you here this morning. Glad to have you. Bill said he took the vaccine to be able to see his family. That's, you do what you got to do. Richie said, do you not want another opportunity to run down the hill? I'm a little bit old to do that, Richie. I would probably fall and roll down the hill. It's probably the way that would turn out, and it wouldn't be pretty. That's the biggest thing. T. Wheels, good morning. Glad to have you with us here this morning. If you look, I'm repping here with the E&H, Emory and Henry. T. Wheels goes up there. Jeremy, good morning. Glad to have you with us as well. Greeny, just call Greeny. He's at open house with his son, so he is not going to be able to join us this morning. So I'll catch a few more headlines, and then I will kind of jump out and go get some stuff done that I need to get done today. Let me see what else is going on in the world of sports. When does I'm trying to think. The Olympics have got to be close to coming to an end, maybe. I haven't watched them. I'll be real honest. I haven't had an interest. I watched a little bit of wrestling. I caught some of it, but they were just like running highlights. I caught this was very impressive, and I want to say the U.S. won the gold. The women's hammer throw. You ever seen that? A big old ball on the end of a chain, and you spin round and round and throw it. That was pretty impressive. When I was in high school, we did not have the hammer throw in track and field. I think some places did. We did not have the javelin in high school, and we did not have a pole vaulter. Now, one of the things when I was in high school, we did not have a track. We had a what we call the pit for disc and shot put, which is what I did. But it was just a concrete box so that you could get the field of the side. We had a circle, we had a toe board. But we really didn't have a place to practice, and we did not have a track. We would set hurdles up on a football field and run, so it was a totally different I guess, environment for us from the track side. But I was impressed seeing the hammer throw last night. I also read an article yesterday. I've talked about the emergency constitution meeting that's coming with the NCAA, and it almost sounds like, according to this article, they're raising the white flag that, we can't handle this anymore. We can't do this anymore. They're going to hand off control to conferences, and conferences don't have a central part of control. They may have a commissioner, but that commissioner works at the basis of the presidents and what the presidents want to do. So I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go and exactly what's going to happen. I do know that it's going to change. Now, change for the better, change for the worse, I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. It's kind of like I read an article. Nick Stevens had an update this morning how fall sports were going. Things were rolling along. The thing with the North Carolina High School Athletic Association and the legislators, that is still in a rules committee. We were expecting that to go to a Senate vote this week. That's still there because they met. Now, have they kissed and made up and made nice? The NCHSAA has been quiet. The legislature has been quiet. And I know one of the things, the NCHSAA announced that it would not be doing any type of mandates as far as protocols, but just passing along what the protocols from CDC have said. And honestly, if you think about that, that should come back to the local educational unit. They should be the ones making the decisions. We've already seen some heated meetings about parents that want it, don't want it, all those type things. And I'm not sure that you've seen everything you're going to see till we get back in school. When we get back in school, that's when things, I think, are going to come around. And there may be more changes. So don't think that we're done, because I don't think that we are done. I think you're going to see some more that you're going to have as well. Minnesota Vikings Kirk Cousins vowed to follow the COVID-19 protocols to avoid contracting the virus or being deemed a close contact ahead of returning to practice after being activated off the reserve COVID-19 list. But Cousins and quarterback Nett Stanley were subject to the league's COVID-19 protocols as of Saturday after rookie Kellen Mond tested positive for the virus. They were deemed close contacts. Well, if you're out on the field, everybody's a close contact. Cousins said he had had 6 negative tests since he was last with Mond on July 30th and did not exhibit any symptoms of COVID-19. Veteran quarterback said the size of Minnesota's quarterback meeting room inside TCO Performance Center was the root of the issue. Well, that's kind of the way it is with all of them. Now, the players have voted or back daily testing, even for vaccinated players. Then what's the purpose in getting the vaccination? I'm missing something. Chris, good morning. Juju, good morning. I'm missing something. And I've said this before. You've kind of got to roll with it. I don't see what else you can do. If you've done and taken the protocols other than just shut everything down again, and then I don't know that fixes it either, because we can't have a consistent life, or I guess practical life is more the word I'm looking for, because you can't live in a restricted bubble. It just doesn't work that way. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see where we go with that. It'll be interesting once things get started back. I'll be interested to see if they shut down in-person games. I just don't. I'm still a little leery that we're going to be like we've always been. Let's just put it that way. I'm a little bit leery that that's going to work out that way. Let me give you some things on this day in sports. 1890, future Hall of Fame pitcher Cy Young throws 3-hit ball in his major league debut for the Cleveland Spiders in an 8-1 win over the Chicago Colts. You know, the Cleveland Indians are changing their name next year to the Cleveland Guardians. I still don't understand why they didn't go back to the Cleveland Spiders. There's a pretty darn good sports team in the college ranks, in football and basketball anyway, called the Richmond Spiders. That'd be neat, I think. Richie said after guys miss a game check due to missing a game because of an outbreak, they will get vaccinated. They'll get vaccinated or they'll walk out, Richie, one of the two. I'm not sure which one's going to happen. This is nowhere close to being over. Nowhere close. 1937, Major League Baseball overturns a 7-6 win for the Yankees over the Cleveland Indians because of an umpire error. You don't see that. You don't even see that change when you've got replay and they want to change something. So that was back in 1936. Do you remember a guy named Bob Mathis? 1948, 17-year-old Bob Mathis from America scores 7,139 points to edge out his next competitor from France by just over 165 points in the decathlon at the London Olympics. This is in 1948. 1952, we had a Satchel Paige story yesterday. St. Louis Browns veteran pitcher Satchel Paige, at the age of 46, becomes the oldest pitcher to win a complete shutout, 1-0, over the Detroit Tigers in 12 innings. 46 years young. 1953, Hall of Fame slugger Ted Williams returns to the Red Sox from military service in Korea, ends abbreviated season with a .407 batting average. .407 batting average. Some people think that, you know, he may have been one of the greatest hitters of all times. 1967, third baseman Brooks Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles hits into a major league record fourth career triple play. I would call that bad luck. Bad luck. 1972, Hammerin' Hank hits home runs 660 and 661 for the Atlanta Braves, breaking Babe Ruth's major league record of homers on one team. 1973, Roberto Clemente was one of a few other folks that were inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Juju brought me a framed picture of Roberto and a picture of the stadium, and I think those are stamps. I think there was a commemorative stamp with Roberto on it, and that hangs here in our quote-unquote man cave. 1985, Major League Baseball stages a mid-season strike. It lasts for a day, just a day. Let's see. I think I told you yesterday, beautiful Bobby Eaton passed away yesterday, wrestler at the age of 62. In 2006, a young Tiger Woods at the age of 30 becomes the youngest player to compile a 50 PGA Tour wins with a 3-stroke victory over Jim Furyk in the Buick Open at the Grand Blanc in Michigan. Tammy Morrison, good morning. Bill says at one time the Richmond Spiders had a good baseball team. They've done well in basketball, and they have been a real competitor in FCS football. I think they're still in FCS now. I could be wrong on that one as well. Let's see if we had any birthdays or other happenings or notable passings today. Nope, but we got maybe we got a birthday or two we can throw out there. Juju usually has this. Doug Ford, born on this day in 1922, American golfer. Won the PGA in 55, the Masters in 57. Born in West Haven, Connecticut. We lost him in 2018. Dusty Rhodes. No, wrong Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes, Australian baseball coach in the Olympics in 1996, was born this day in 1946. Dale Ellis, born on this day in 1960, NBA guard forward for the Seattle Seahawks and Nuggets. And I want to say he was a Clemson guy, if I'm not mistaken, because I think he lived in my dorm, if I'm not mistaken. And David Robinson, the Admiral, was born on this day in 1965 in Key West, Florida. Billy Mayfair, another golfer, was born on this day in 1966. Greeny of the old ESPN show with Mike and Mike, Mike Greenberg, born on this day in 1967. It's hard to believe we don't have Mike and Mike. That was such a staple for such a long time on ESPN. I thought it was one of their best shows. I was really disappointed to see it go away. I've got to get to work, and hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. The boys will be in here tomorrow, 8 o'clock, bright and early. David, Mike, Brett, as far as I know, they'll all be in here. Then I'll see you again on Monday. And in just a week or two, we're going to switch to a Monday night show. And I'm still working on a location. We hope to be on location every Monday night, bring some high school coaches in for that as well. I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know as soon as we know more. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Going to be a nice weekend. Maybe a little rain in the morning, but won't be quite as hot. Have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday. The boys will be in here in the morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. They'll update you on some high school football right here on Sports Talk, guys. Have a good one, folks.